I didn't think much about it the first time. Honestly, I barely even noticed it. I'd been working a lot that month and my sleep schedule was completely messed up. Most nights, I stayed awake way later than I should have, usually sitting in the living room with the TV on low volume, trying to relax before work. And every once in a while, I glance out the back window toward the yard. My backyard backs up to a narrow wooded area. Not deep woods or anything, just enough trees to separate the neighborhood from the road behind it. At night, it gets really dark back there. The kind of dark where your eyes start imagining movement. The first time I saw him, it was quick. Just a figure moving near the back fence. I remember thinking it was probably somebody cutting through the yard, or maybe a neighbor looking for a dog. It didn't seem important. But the next night, I saw the same thing again. A dark figure slowly walking through the backyard. Same direction, same pace. And the weirdest part was the time. I only noticed because I happened to look at the microwave clock after seeing him. 2:13 a.m. Exactly. The next night happened again. 2:13 a.m. At that point, I started feeling genuinely uncomfortable. Not terrified, just unsettled, because something about it felt too consistent. I started paying more attention after that, and over the next week, it kept happening. Every single night at 2:13. Always walking slowly near the back fence, never running, never looking around, just walking calmly through the darkness. I never got a good look at his face. It was always too dark, but I could tell it was the same person. Tall, thin, dark hoodie, slow movement. At first I thought maybe it was somebody taking a shortcut through the yard every night after work, but the more I watched him, the less normal it felt. Because normal people don't move like that. There was something almost mechanical about the way he walked. Same speed every night, same path, same time. I started closing the blinds earlier after a while. I told myself if I stopped looking, I stopped thinking about it. But curiosity always got the better of me. Every night around 2:10, I find myself waiting near the window again, just watching the darkness behind the fence, waiting for movement. And every night, there he was, 2:13 exactly. One night, I decided to record him. I figured if I saw the footage the next morning in daylight, maybe it would feel less creepy. So around 2:05, I turned the living room lights off and sat near the back window with the phone ready. At exactly 2:13, movement appeared near the trees. Same figure, same pace. I remember zooming in with the phone camera trying to get a better look, but the quality was terrible. Mostly darkness and blur. Still, I kept recording. And that's when something happened that still bothers me. Halfway across the yard, he stopped walking. Completely stopped. I remember thinking maybe he heard something, but then slowly he turned towards my house, toward my window, toward me. Even from that far away, I could feel it immediately. He knew I was there. I ducked away from the window so fast I almost dropped my phone, and for the next few seconds, I just sat on the floor listening to my own heartbeat. I remember feeling stupid afterwards, like I was overreacting. So eventually I stood back up and looked outside again. He was gone. Not walking away, not near the fence. Gone. The next day I checked the video. The footage was awful. Mostly darkness. But right before I lowered the phone, you could clearly see the figure stop moving and then slowly turn toward the house. I stopped watching after that. For the next few nights, I actually considered calling the police. But what was I supposed to say? Some guy walking behind my fence every night? It sounded ridiculous. So instead, I bought brighter floodlights for the backyard. I installed them that weekend hoping it would stop whatever was happening. That night around 2:13, the lights suddenly switched on automatically. I was already awake waiting for it. And when the backyard lit up, nobody was there. At first I actually felt relieved, like maybe the lights worked. Then I noticed something near the fence. The gate was open, just slightly. I know for a fact it had been closed earlier that night. I stared at it for probably 30 seconds, trying to decide if I was imagining things. And then the motion light turned off again. The backyard went completely dark. A few seconds later, the figure walked past the fence again. Only this time, he was inside the yard. I felt my entire body tense up immediately, because before that moment, there had still been distance. The fence, the trees, the yard. Now suddenly, he was much closer. I remember backing away from the window slowly, without even realizing I was doing it. And the weirdest part, he still moved calmly. No rushing, no sneaking, just slowly walking across the backyard like he belonged there. I barely slept that night. The next morning, I checked the yard immediately before leaving for work. The gate was closed again, but near the back of the fence, I noticed footprints in the mud. Fresh ones. I stopped looking out the window after that, completely. I kept the blinds closed every night. I even started sleeping with the lights on in the hallway sometimes. And eventually, after about another week, it stopped. No more movement, no more 213, nothing. At first, I felt relieved. Then, strangely, I started feeling anxious again, because now I kept wondering why it stopped. A month later, I got home late from work one night and realized I forgot to take the trash cans out. It was cold and raining lightly. I remember not wanting to go outside at all, but eventually I grabbed a flashlight and walked into the backyard, and everything looked normal, quiet, empty, the woods behind the fence barely moving in the wind. And as I turned back towards the house, my flashlight passed across the back window. That's when I froze, because standing inside the house, behind the glass, was a dark figure watching me from the living room. I dropped the flashlight immediately. By the time I looked back up, nothing was there. I ran inside so fast I could barely get the key in the door. Every room in the house was empty, nothing missing, no sign anyone had been there. But what still bothers me the most is the microwave clock in the kitchen, because when I finally looked at it, the time was exactly 2:13.